Grand Rising, Grand Arrival, Grand Return. Peace and blessings to the righteous and repentant alike. I'm Chief Sophia of the Americana Band of Indians, and this is your Don't Miss It headline news for the week of April the 21st through April the 27th of 2025. We're just going to go through the headlines, get them documented, and in our longer podcast, weekly podcast, which are going to start back up next week, we'll go into some of the details. And we're quite a few weeks behind because of the Pascha Easter celebration. So we're going to pick up where we left off and we're going to keep going. But in this video, we're just going to cover the headlines, and I'm going to do it without commentary if at all possible. So Monday, April the 21st, 2025, the Pope dies at 7:35 a.m. Rome time, and he has a stroke and then he goes into a coma. Klaus Schwab resigns from the World Economic Forum immediately following that. This is also the would have been dead Queen Elizabeth's 99th birthday. And for the Orthodox people out there, Christ is risen. This is Bright Monday for the Orthodox. Okay. Yesterday, I had asked God to arise, and first thing in the morning, the Pope dies. Anyway, moving on. Christians don't like sinners because they are the real vampires. These Roman Christians are the real vampires, okay? You need fulvic and humic acid to protect your gut from glyphosate, and you can look into that. There's posts from Bioavailable ND on Twitter about that. Kanye West reveals he was abused by his cousin pretty badly. They have the Easter picnic at the White House. The FDA is going to ban artificial food dyes. That announcement does actually come the next day. Vance is in India, and they announced that the U.S. and India have the formation of a trade agreement. They have something launched that's called Cluey, which is basically glasses for cheating on anything. Israel announces that it's going to continue to fight in Gaza. El Salvador denies Dems who want to see the Maryland man who was correctly deported back to his home country because the trip isn't taxpayer funded. I find out that Hanuman has a son. Of course, we talk about that on my spiritual channel. Walgreens is fined $350 million due to improper opioid prescriptions being filled and being disseminated. Chevron announces a project in the Gulf of America. Bayer announces that it's going to spend $44 million in Pennsylvania on a factory. Congress refers Andrew Cuomo to the DOJ. And if you don't know, Andrew Cuomo is the one who killed all of those parents in New York during COVID in the nursing homes. And if you don't know this, ginger is good for you to consume after you drink alcohol, okay? So Tuesday, April the 22nd, 2025, the World Economic Forum acting chairman is a lizard. He's a lizard man. Okay. Gold goes up the stairs and down the elevator. So I have a theory based on a poster who actually said this, unseen one, that gold is going to go down back to its 1968 pricing. And just today, I was corrected on what that amount was. So I can't tell you what it is, but I think gold is going to go down to the $40 range where it's supposed to be. Well, no. Gold's not going to go down to the $40 range. It's going to be like maybe $200 an ounce or something like that, because right now it's improperly priced. Okay, so duck is the totem for the Christian New Year. I announced that today. And the God for this Christian New Year, which Easter is literally the first day of the Christian year. And so based on that, which will be more on my spiritual channel, the God for the Christian New Year is Geb. And Geb is he's a duck god in the uh, um, Egyptian pantheon, and he is the god of the earth. So he's the god for this year. And I don't know if there's different gods for different years. I haven't done all the calculations. It's just this one was pretty obvious. Okay. There's a horrible, horrible, horrible terrorist attack in India in the Kashmir region, which is close to the border with Pakistan. And it's horrible because they only killed men. 27 men were murdered, and they only killed them if they weren't Muslim. And the way they were verifying if they were Muslim or not was they were having them pull down their pants to reveal if they were circumcised. And I don't know which one is Hindu and which one isn't. I haven't been able to figure that out, but basically, the ones who weren't Muslim, they were actually murdering them, and it's really horrific. Okay, very cruel. That's what I wrote down. All right, feds raid a dairy farm in Vermont over illegals working at the farm. The State Department announces their reorganization. The FDA does indeed ban today red 40, yellow 5 and 6, B1 and 2, and G3 with more to come. These are petroleum based colors. All right, sometime after the Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts marries Bri Burrows, so congratulations. A wildfire breaks out in New Jersey. Gen Z isn't for sale. And this is why everyone, like these boomers, hate them, because they're just not for sale. Okay, I have a Gen Z daughter. She's not for sale. Amish have been rebuilding in Western North Carolina for 6 months. That comes out. Aspartame and Diet Coke need to be banned, because if you're going to take away sodas off a SNAP, then no one should be able to consume aspartame, because it is a chemical that will kill you. And so, yeah, I do think Diet Cokes need to be banned. Aspartame needs to be banned, and Diet Coke needs to be banned immediately. Okay. Florida parents can't find doctors if their kid hasn't been injected on the CDC standards. I actually left refugeed out of Maryland for this specific reason, because there was no doctor in the state who would see my own son, because I refused to have him on the schedule. So I can't believe that this is happening in Florida, but it must be in Miami. All right. It comes out from Catherine Herridge that there are directed energy attacks on U.S. soil, which is insane. All right. Google AI is trying to decode dolphins, and I actually hope that they fail with that. All right. So, Wednesday, April the 23rd, 2025, Kenyan-led forces fail in Haiti, and Haiti is descending yet again into chaos. Without comment. Ukraine peace proposal. Ukraine peace proposal must be met with favor, or the U.S. will withdraw. Meaning, the U.S. has presented a peace proposal, and if Ukraine will not accept it, then the U.S. is going to withdraw from negotiating with them and supporting them. All right. White conservatives don't think babies from single mothers can be great. All right. Don't eat the crumbs off the corpse. This refers to when people offer you things that are supposedly good, but they're clearly not good. Don't eat the crumbs off the corpse. Okay. You can look it up. All right. White House posts an unhinged post on the deportations. Totally unhinged. We're here for that. India has a water treaty about the Indus River, and they're going to withdraw from it, which means that Pakistan is not going to be able to get their water as a result of this terrorist attack. Pope funeral prep goes viral because it's very weird. Gluten could be causing your anxiety, and not really the gluten, but the glyphosate, which goes back to that thing I said about Monday. Okay. Abortion clinic in Boulder, Arizona closes after performing 42,000 abortions. Congratulations. A South Carolina corrections officer is killed by lightning. Um, Trump is asked about the Redskins deal in his press conference, which is pretty amazing. The Shannon Sharpe scandal explodes, which we're not going to talk about. It just explodes. Trump 100-day rally is announced. It's going to be in Michigan. China destroyed the luxury market when they went and spilled all the beans to the Americans. There's an executive order signed called Restoring Equality of Opportunity, which sounds really interesting. And then China announced that its customs will no longer supervise drug exports, which is very dangerous. Okay. So Thursday, April the 24th, 2025, Zelensky is in South Africa and he is going to leave and go back to Ukraine after there's this horrific attack on Kiev. Okay. Congress has not passed a budget since 2008. I had no idea it was that bad. There's a $12 billion surge in customs revenue. So the External Revenue Service is going to come through Department of Homeland Security, which makes perfect sense if you understand how the Internal Revenue Service was set up. Terry J. Vaughn is going to star in a new Tyler Perry show where she is lieutenant governor or something like that. So congratulations to her, of course. Shaq is trying to expose Shannon Sharpe over decades old beef. This is why our community has no elders we can look up to, because look at these men. They're behaving like children, okay? Boomers. Trump issues an executive order targeting ActBlue, which has been doing bajillions of fraudulent donations. The DoD has been used to do deportations. Energy permitting is down to 28 days, meaning if you want to build a new energy facility, now it's only going to take you 28 days. The FBI arrests a New Mexico judge who was harboring a Trinidad member in his house because this TDA member was dating his daughter, allegedly. All right, Georgia Dems are planning to run Stacey Abrams for governor again. I hope they do. Please run her, please. Okay. Trump meets with the Prime Minister of Norway. T-Pain and his wife have been married for 21 years. Congratulations to them. Marina Jacoby, who is a channeler, she predicts something like a nuclear fallout near New York. New Jersey is what I wrote down, but I think she said New York. All right. Parasites steal your drive. So we talk a lot about parasites on my spiritual channel. Fort Bragg stops a Jordanian national terrorist attack because this guy pulled up to the gate of Fort Bragg and was carrying explosives in his car, which is insane. Okay. There's this weird black on black New York University peeing incident. I'm not going to go into it, but that comes onto the timeline, okay? So, Friday, April the 25th, 2025, Shedeur Sanders goes undrafted in the first round. He ends up going in the fifth round at number 144. To the Browns. Congratulations to Shedeur and for enduring what he endures over this time, okay? There's a car bombing in Moscow, which kills one of the Russian generals. The Muslim Antichrist emerges onto the Twitter timeline, which, I mean, I don't know. How many more Antichrists do we need? Okay. I think we've got enough. Apple is going to shift its China production to India. Woolhouse Electronics will help with EMF. So if you can get a wool case for your phone, then or just in general, wool to go around stuff like this will prevent it from having so many EMFs all over the place. Okay. Sinners makes $30 million week 2 in the box office, and it will be up to $100 million globally by Sunday. It's a huge, overwhelming success. Okay. Trump calls out the NFL for not picking Shedeur in the first round, which he absolutely should have went in the first round. I point out that all vampires have to be invited in. Okay. Ghana expels foreign companies from gold market. The service economy is the death trap of the working class. And Bannon says this, and he's 100% correct. Cam Ward is a safe black. So, unlike Shedeur Sanders, who's an unsafe black, people make comments about this. Stephen A says that what's happening with Shedeur is Kaepernick level collusion by the NFL. Woo, Lord. All right, Chris Brown does a huge show in Brazil, and China is slowly but surely caving to Trump, and the cracks are starting to show. All right, so Saturday, April the 26th, 2025, the Pope's funeral is held at St. Peter's Basilica. There's a photo leaked of Trump meeting with Zelensky. I'll just mention here that Letitia James, who is the New York Attorney General, has this for the city of New York, I think, or the state, I don't know. She has this huge loan scandal that is really going to take down a lot of politicians because they all do this, okay? U.S. has relocated Iraqi refugee to Rwanda, which is good, safe third party. Biden let Chevron pay Venezuela. So those TDA gang members that somehow ended up on our shores were basically paid by Biden through him allowing Chevron to pay Venezuela. And then they took that money and brought those people to America. Americans buying direct from China helps them perpetuate their fraud, but hey, America need to do something about that, right? Today is also Melania Trump's birthday. Happy birthday to our First Lady. Harmeet Dillon cleans house at the Civil Rights Department of the DOJ, which needs it. Mahomes complains about his nappy hair. I don't know why this is a story, but a lot of black people were talking about it. So there's this prank call that happens to Shedeur on during the first round, and it is perpetuated by a student from Ole Miss whose father is a coach at the Atlanta Falcons. This turns into a huge story. All right, Mel Kiper and Skip Bayless, who are sports commentators, grill the NFL over Shedeur's treatment. They grill them. USA electric trucks start rolling out. All electric trucks made in the USA. Starting price is like $20,000 with the something, I don't know, tax cut. I don't know, something. All right. The Buccaneers sign Shiloh Sanders. He's not drafted, but they do sign him. The USDA tells Mexico to deal with the New World screwworm, which is coming up through southern Mexico as we speak, or beef imports into America will stop. 25% of community college in California are bots. I feel like I reported on this already. I can't remember though. Zelensky wants U.S. to give treatment to Ukraine like we give to Israel, which is not going to happen, okay? Judges threatening not to hold court to keep illegals from being taken, which that's a win-win for everybody, right? Iran has a port blast that kills 28 and injures 1,000. It's a huge blast with fires that are still burning. All right, so Sunday, April the 27th, this is the day of our new moon as well. The power of Doge is in its name. When you name a thing, you give it power, okay? 100 illegals are detained in Colorado in a bust on a private club or something like that, an underground club, illegal club, I don't know. Trump thinks tariffs will eliminate taxes for those who make under $200,000 a year. Sinners is a huge success with it's up 56% from the first week, which is unheard of. The Black Hawk helicopter crash was due to the pilot not following the orders of the captain, the person who was beside her, who was her superior. She ignored what the superior told her to do, and literally that's why the plane crashed. A New York Times article puts this out. It's horrible. Okay, all right. Illegal aliens targeted Noam's purse. So Kristi Noem had her purse stolen, and they're like, "Oh, these guys, they're illegal aliens, and they stole her purse. They took the wrong one." No, they are government assets from a foreign government who deliberately targeted her to steal her purse. Okay, this was not an accident. So I don't know why they're trying to now act like spy games are like, just illegal alien crime, but it's clearly not an accident, okay? She was targeted. African leaders are dissed at the Pope's funeral, which hope doesn't mean that Cardinal Sarah is out of the running, because that's who we need to lead the Catholic Church. Trump tells Congress they can't come to the rally in Michigan because they have to stay in DC and vote. They're very upset by that. All right. A Maryland student is suspended for asking about flags being in the classroom. Something comes up about the Black Christ of Portobello. Jeffries and Booker look crazy on the Capitol steps, and I think we need a moratorium on white passing black men. Okay. Is ivermectin sterilizing people? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with getting rid of parasites, but you don't have to kill every single bad parasites. You don't have to kill all the good parasites in your body while you're taking out the bad ones. It doesn't have to be done like that. We need precision medicine, which there is precision medicine available. Don't act like it's not. Kevin O'Leary still wants 400% tariffs on China. He's taking this pretty personal, actually. There's a huge ferry crash in Clearwater, Florida. I think 46 people are injured, or there was 46 people on the boat. I don't know. Somebody, a white person on the timeline, points out that tornadoes only happen where white people live. There's not tornadoes where other people live besides white people. Okay. Outkast is inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Congratulations to those brothers. China will expand imports, which, again, they're caving, but they're just doing it very whatever. At the same time, they're canceling U.S. pork orders, which is good because now we'll be able to get bacon at a reasonable price. And the producer or the director for Sinners, Ryan Coogler, suggests that we should connect with our recent ancestors first, which makes way sense. If some people are from Africa, fine, but that's way back. What about the people who are from here? Your great grandparents, your great 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 grandparents, your great 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 grandparents, who are all from here. Why don't you connect with them first before you go look into Africa? Just a suggestion, okay? So that is the headline news for April 21st through 27th, 2025. Again, if you like this type of content, follow us over on YouTube. We do longer form versions where I go into some details on some of this stuff. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video.